Now, for what's tipping the scales of justice, the judge in Donna Adelson's trial appears to be leaning toward allowing questions about a book written by Donna's daughter, Wendi Adelson. This book, I have in my hands here. So Wendi Adelson wrote the book, This Is Our Story, years before her husband, Dan Markel, was murdered. It's about a woman named Lily who's stuck in a small town because of her husband's job. Now, prosecutors have drawn parallels between the character in the book and Wendi. The book also came up at the trial of Donna's son, Charlie, and in the jail calls. Take a listen.
There's only one reason why Catherine read that line from her book. There's only one reason, that's to drive home the message that Wendi thinks she's smarter than everybody else. She foreshadowed her move in a book. She even wrote a book about the move.
She foreshadowed her move in a book. Oh, my goodness. So Wendi has downplayed any connection between herself and the character in the book, Lily. The judge has not made a ruling yet, so we're wondering what should be tipping the scales here. Let's bring back in our legal analyst guests, Mario Gallucci and Don Malarsic. Okay, should Donna be able to have this excluded and rest easy? Prosecutors are not going to talk about it at her trial. Don Malarsic, what do you think?
Well, Julie, traditionally I am against book banning, but in this case I have to say yes. This should not be a part of her trial. It is clearly more prejudicial than probative of Donna's guilt or innocence. It also has the real possibility of confusing the jurors about the characters and whether it's the real person. It's not a book that Donna wrote. So I think all in all, the cleanest, smartest, safest thing to do is ban the book.
Great points. Mario Gallucci, what do you think? Should the book be banned?
I think a lot like Don. As a matter of fact, I'd like to try a case with him.
You two be sensational. That's a dream team right there.
I tell you, without a doubt, that book should be banned. There's no reason to allow that book into evidence. As a criminal defense attorney, I would be jumping up and down. This book has absolutely nothing to do with the allegations in the case. It was written as a fiction document. No way. This would be ultimately the one thing where I would stand and say, no, Judge, you can't let this in. And if he did, I'd get my appellate guys on it right away. I would even consider taking an interlocutory appeal on something like that.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Okay, Mario, thank you for that. I have a clip. Let's take a look back, a trip down memory lane, shall we, to Charlie's trial when Wendi was on the stand and what she was saying when she was asked about the character Lily.
Was the public interest lawyer Lily?
Yes.
And is that the character that's sort of based after yourself?
No, really more based after a friend of mine.
And was Hiawassee, Florida, quote, just a small stop on the way back to what we had previously known as civilization? Is that a quote from your book?
That sounds like a quote from my book, yeah.
And who's the husband of Lily, the public interest lawyer?
You want his name in the book?
Yes.
I think it was Josh Stone.
All right, and what was Josh's employment?
Josh was an English professor.
Oh, okay. So the state argues that Lily is Wendi. This is Wendi's life, and talking all about her. Dawn, different set of facts for you. If Wendi were the one on trial here, how would you feel about the book then?
Yeah, I think that really changes the analysis then, because it becomes much, much more probative under those circumstances. And that really is the test, right? The judge has to balance how probative is this to the ultimate guilt or innocence of the particular accused. When it's a book written by Wendi and Donna's on trial, there's this, it's just not quite as probative. But if Wendi is on trial and she wrote the book, then I think it's fair game.
I appreciate that. Mario, let me go back to you on something we've all been wondering about. Is Wendi out of the woods? There are many of us who've been watching this case progress for years who have been thinking Wendi's going to be indicted. Last we heard she had moved to Austin, Texas, and no word of any indictment. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think we'll ever see one coming for her?
So you would think, I believe there were 2 trials already. You would think that whoever was investigating this case would have found evidence indicating that Wendi had some sort of culpability in the murder. and that would have been brought forward already. I mean, this is old. I mean, this is back from what is it, like 2011? So they would, without a doubt, I think Wendy's way out of the woods here. I don't think there's going to be any issue with Wendi being prosecuted for anything at this point.
It's interesting to hear you say that, Mario. Okay, Don, what do you think? Do you think Wendi can rest easy in Texas?
Well, I don't know if I'd say rest easy, but I think Mario's right. She's probably out of the woods. You know, I would assume that she has a lawyer, and that lawyer has been in contact with the prosecuting attorney's office and got some sense of her status in this. Is she a target? Is she a witness? You know, she has testified. She clearly has a Fifth Amendment right not to testify and can't be forced or compelled to testify for either side. And the fact that she has, and she did, and she was under oath, and she was questioned by the prosecutor, and nothing has happened, tells me that they just don't have enough evidence to indict her.
Great point, Don. And so, Mario, let me ask you, do you think they're hopeful something's going to come up at Donna's trial?
Yeah, look, they're always hopeful that something's going to come up. That's just the nature of the prosecution beast. But to Don's point, she's testified at a trial without an attorney that we saw present to protect her Fifth Amendment rights. So obviously, she has no issue in stating the truth. So I do think she's out of the woods here. Look, you know, it's a tragedy. I mean, she's lost so many people in her life as a result of that, and may lose her mother. But other than that, I don't think that she's criminally responsible here.
I could talk to you both all day. We're going to have to leave it there, though, for now, because we got to hit a commercial break before Court TV Live begins, and you both have to get off to court. Mario Gallucci, Don Milarczyk, thank you both so much for your expertise this morning.